I'm gonna walk around with the microphone. I'll start singing if I had to understand or something. But I'm Duane Cummings. That's too loud. And then, no, is it fine? Like, you guys hear me right? Okay. I'm Duane Cummings. I was here back in 2015, I think it was. Is it 2000? Yeah, 2015. I talked about growing up with Goldenhar and stuff like that. And I got to meet Lily for the first time. She was an amazing little girl. When I first met her, she grabbed me by the hand and we went to a dolls and we just started playing dolls. And it was an amazing thing because it wasn't like you know, a little girl and an adult. She was teaching me without me even knowing that she was teaching me. It's all about acceptance, and she was spontaneous, and through the videos you guys saw earlier, she was determined to get where she was going. And it's a beautiful thing that she taught me. When I left here, with the sense of community that she has touched on you guys, I went back to the drawing board. I've been writing a book, and I've been going into school talking about bullying and stuff like that. And I felt like that's not enough. You have to really get into the community. And so I started using the Wonder books and stuff like that, and I would go in the classrooms and I would talk about bullying, Goldenhar Syndrome, and it really made an impact. And then I decided I need to go further than that. We need to go back into the developmental elementaries and start teaching acceptance and diversity from the beginning of elementary school, between kindergarten and fourth grade. Not fourth grade, because fourth grade, it's already done. You already have a lot of kids that are going through a lot of stuff. So I've been going back to the schools and talking about curriculums and how we can change stuff like that. But I don't think I would have gotten that influence unless I met Lily. And I saw a lot of Lily in me. Like, it was very touching that she had a very, I don't want to say, well, it was a very innocent life. She had nothing but the positive in life like a child should have. They should grow up and play and not have to worry about the gray areas in life. And I think today's society, we had a lot of that. We had a lot of bullying already in elementary school. We had a lot of things that kids do not need to have in their life right now. I tried to put a video together. A lot of parents in the Goldenhar Syndrome community are afraid to have their kids out there because they don't want them to be, they don't want them to have that exposure yet. But there was a couple who really, they're like, yes, I want my child out there. So I made a little video of one that they allowed me, that I got the okay for. it's always good when you can have a community of people who are with the cause. And there's a lot of people out there who don't want their children out there because they're afraid of what people will think. And communities like this is making it okay and making them feel like they can come out. And there is no judgment, there's no gray area, there's no black and white. It's just all sunshine, you know what I mean? And I think as this progresses, that we will see more. And I'm hoping in next year, you know, we'll have more pictures up there, and people will want to be more involved in this. And I thought that was really nice to have out. But yeah, Lily has really brought me out of my shell more than I just wanted to do, write a book, talk in the school. That's all I really felt like I could do. And when I met her, it was like you have to put you have to put yourself out there. It doesn't matter about like how you feel. It's about the cause. Right now, I'm nervous. I'm nervous up here in front of all you guys. But I came 16 hours out here to share my story because it matters, and that will always be, you know. Now with that, I am going to start talking about bullying, which is a great subject. When I was in kindergarten, it was the first time being exposed to bullying. You know, I had a great family. Family of 16, always great. Enough to play basketball, football, baseball. It was fun. But then, you know, when you start riding the bus and you notice people, you know, staring at you and stuff like that, you're like, you know, what's going on? And then when you get to school and you're trying to play with crayons and people are taking it and saying, that's not yours, you know, you need to go back home or something like that. Or you're playing with, you know, in the kitchen, it's like, why are you drooling? That's weird. Or, ew, that's gross, I don't want to touch that. You know, I grew up with that a lot. And, you know, I kind of became a person who just kept to myself. And, you know, I didn't want anyone to feel hurt or anything like that. So I kept it. I got beat up, kept it to myself. I really didn't tell anybody. You know, I just became a very inclusive person. And when I got into middle school, you know, it was still going on. And, you know, I started having a lot of, you know, anger issues and stuff like that. And I still kept it to my, you know, I still kept it. I was getting punched and beat up and thrown in lockers and stuff like that. And it just, I just wanted to be left alone. I didn't want anyone to feel hurt. I didn't want to hurt anyone else's feelings. And then in high school, it started to kind of electroactive. I started being what everyone else was, you know, a bully and stuff like that. And honestly, it felt good because I was giving what people wanted. And then after that, after I graduated high school and stuff like that, I kind of became broken because I wanted to be me. I wanted to be that great guy that, you know, I wanted to be. And I couldn't do that. Well, I didn't know how to do that. So what I did was I moved away into a new area, and I started exploring who I was as a person. And I tell you what, I feel great now because I'm helping people, and, you know, I met my wife, I have beautiful children, and but it took me a lot to get there. You know what? I'm going to show you a video. This really explains bullying.
When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought they were both pork chops. And because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree and bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother about it because I was scared I'd get in trouble for playing somewhere I shouldn't have been. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I got sent to the principal's office. From there, I was sent to another small room with a really nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about my life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life was pretty good. I told her whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was removed from the house for 3 days until they finally decided to ask how I got the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. To this day, I hate pork chops. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way, surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us, that we'd be lonely forever, that we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone. That an ingrown life is something surgeons can cut away, that there's no way for it to metastasize, it does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs. But the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or learn to stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there in grade 5. They taped a sign to the front of her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they'll never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom. Because they see her heart before they see her skin. Because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree. Adopted. Not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when it became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade, had a personality made up of tests and pills, lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs, 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, "Get over it." As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he is a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to in detail the way the sky bends in the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who can't understand. Sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were "Hey stupid," "Hey spaz." Seems like every school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in a school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or they just background noise from a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like kids can be cruel? Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these miles ahead of who we were freaks. lobster-clawed boys and bearded ladies, oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire, spin the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, some of us fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer. Because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart and signed it yourself. You signed it. They were wrong. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we were called. We are not abandoned cars stalled out and sitting empty on some highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of we made it. Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course, they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.
I really felt like that was something that I needed to show. I kind of got off base before the video and I had to get back on track, but when I was growing up, when I was being bullied and stuff like that, yes, my family was kept me grounded, but as a person, when I was in high school, when I went to the counselor to what are you going to do when you grow up? Well, you know what, you're not going to amount to it. You're not going to amount to going to college. You're not going to amount, so just going to a vocational. Just being told that I wasn't going to do anything. And that was just a fire for me. And so I just kept on going and I'm going. And I graduated high school. I didn't learn anything because I was physically disabled. I got a free pass. I got a free pass to special education where I got all the test answers and everything. So what did that teach me? Absolutely nothing. So when I graduated and I moved to college, I failed college because I was still I was still on the mindset of wanting to be a person to have fun, to explore the world, do things that children were able to do, and I wasn't able to. So I enjoyed college. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. But I didn't I didn't learn anything. So I ended up moving back home, and then one of my brothers came back and he said, you know what, why don't we trying to get you a job? And I got a job in helping people with disabilities. I tell you what, it was the best thing I could ever do, because that was when I realized that I had more to give. I was helping people with disabilities, and then I remembered I have a disability myself, and I can teach people how to live better in a positive way rather than a negative way. So years after that, I met my wife, and she was my reward. something I never thought I would ever get. I got a wife. Well, she was a girlfriend at the time. And then she did something I would never expect. She showed me her most precious treasure, her children. And that was something I never had. That much trust in me to let me be responsible of the child. That was the most beautiful and amazing thing that I could ever have. And so all these years of being bullied, being spit on, thrown in lockers, being kicked on, all that didn't mean nothing. Because I had the most beautiful family in the world, was over here, and I'm trying not to embarrass them. So, but with that said, this last video called "Love Us," this is how I feel about the gift my wife given me.
I met you in the dark, you lit me up. You made me feel as though I wasn't off. We danced the night away, we drank too much. I held your hair back when you were throwing up. Then you smiled over your shoulder. For a minute I was stone cold sober. I pulled you closer to my chest, and you asked me to stay over. I said I already told you, I think that you should get some rest. I knew I loved you then, but you'd never know. 'Cause I played it cool and I was scared of letting go. I knew I needed you, but I never showed. But I wanna stay with you until we're grown old. Say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. I'll wake you up with some breakfast in bed. I'll bring you coffee with a kiss on your head. And I'll take the kids to school, wave them goodbye. And I'll thank my lucky stars for that night. When you looked over your shoulder, for a minute I forget that I'm older. I wanna dance with you right now. Oh, and you look as beautiful as ever, and I swear that every day you'll get better. You make me feel this way somehow. I'm so in love with you, and I hope you know, darling, your love is more than worth its weight in gold. We've come so far, my dear, look how we've grown. And I wanna stay with you until we're great old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. I wanna live with you, even when we're ghosts. 'Cause you were always there for me when I needed you most. I'm gonna love you till my lungs give out. I promise till death we part, like in our vows. So I wrote this song for you, now everybody knows that it's just you and me till we're great old. Just say you won't let go.
I think about that, and I think I'm the person who I am by going to what I've gone to. But I also feel that no child has to go through that struggle, to feel alone, to get to that point. I think that every child should feel equal and be able to have that chance in life. And so, I think the Lily event, the scholarship did that opportunity to expose, what our community should be. And that's really all I have. Hopefully that, every year, when I was here back in 2015, I said that, this event was spread like wildfire. And if you look online, it's everywhere. And it's going to continue to spread. And I look forward to the next one. Thank you, everybody.